It has come to my attention that there is a crisis going on in our Ummah. There is a disunity happening in the Ummah. No, I'm not talking about the Shia and Sunni unity or disunity. I think unity has been spoken enough about in regards to that. What I'm speaking about, what I feel like has not been one of our main concerns, is the Shia disunity that is happening in our Ummah. There are 4 things I think that we could generally agree upon. And of course, there are probably way more points than that. But I think 4 points to start off with. Number 1, we all believe that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is the seal of the Prophet and that he brought the Quran, which is the word of Allah, to us. Number 2, the Holy Prophet ﷺ appointed Imam Ali by the will and command by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be our leader after his demise. Number 3, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said in a mutawatir hadith that hold on to 2 things and you'll never go astray. That is the book of Allah and my Ahlul Bayt. And number 4 is that we believe in the 5 usul din, which is prophethood, oneness of God, resurrection, imamate, and justice. With these 4 points, I think that we can all agree upon and something that we can discuss upon in a proper manner. Now, when it comes to fiqh issues, this is where I've noticed our division. I may be wrong, and you can correct me, but this is what I have seen is a fiqh issue. Now, that's not to say that everyone needs to agree with everyone when it comes to these things. That is why the main and majority of Shias do follow a marja. A marja is someone who has done a lot of research, has learned a lot in Hausa and how to derive fiqh rulings. I'm not even going to pretend that I know how to do that. I am far from being a mujtahid. Most of us who are listening to this today cannot derive their own fatwas. This is why we go to a learned scholar like our marjas, because we believe that they are the most knowledgeable, or at least that they have a very good foundation in how to derive fatwas. So this is where we can come to some differences, and we may not always agree. The main point here is when we don't agree, that we could agree to disagree. What does that mean? I mean that if I don't agree with somebody else, and with, of course, justifiable reasons, not because it's just not how I feel, but because I have some proof, then we can say that we don't agree, and that's okay. And maybe we could show our proofs in an academical manner, and they can show their proofs, having an open mind, open conversation, and the most an open heart. Because either one, you're going to receive that information, maybe you will then tend to agree with that, or maybe you'll need to look more into it, or maybe you'll still stand on your side and they'll stand on their side. And that's okay. We do not need to bash each other, slander each other, backbite each other, curse each other. This fiqh issues, when it comes to the fiqh issues, is not making us become a disbeliever or somebody that may not be knowledgeable. You may have a different opinion and the other person may have a different opinion. That's okay. Now, a very clear point I want to make out to you here is that there is one reality, and that reality of law is truth, a true law. And our martyrs are striving to find that law. What is it that the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam taught us? What is it that we have to abide by? And they're going after this law. They're trying to derive their fatwas from hadith, and they have so many issues in the way to just have it. It's not like we have a book put out in front of us and we go, well, we believe in this whole book. This book, i.e., a hadith book. No, that's not very easy. It's not just that simple. There are issues that stood in the way. I won't get too in depth with that, but a little touch upon it is that, there were hadith bans in the beginning. Hadiths were lost, burnt. There was also taqiyya ones. So there was just so much that was involved in our collections of hadith that our marjas are striving to find what is the truth. Will we come to the exact truth of the law that the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam tried to teach us, that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam taught us? Maybe not until the Imam of our time, Imam Mahdi, may Allah hasten his reappearance, returns. This is why we need to create a unity within our ummah, our Shia ummah, because we are falling apart in division. We are fighting over fiqh issues here that are not needing to be fought over. We can have a proper discussion, but we may still stand on the opposite side of the other person that we are discussing it with. And that's okay. It shouldn't bring us to where we hate the other person or cursing the other person or slandering the other person. It should not get to that point. It should never get to that point. We are trying so hard to create a tolerance and unity between Shia Sunni. We definitely need to step it up a lot when it comes to creating unity within the Shia Ummah. Now, it's not okay to go and slander other people's marjas. We don't do this. This is not real Shia Islam. If you have an issue and you're knowledgeable enough to bring it up, then do so in an academic manner. We should not be calling and slandering anybody's marja. Those things that we're probably attacking comes to a fiqh issue, and we honestly, every scholar may have a different opinion on some fiqh issue, even like that of alcohol. One marja may say that a small amount of ethanol alcohol, when consumed, is fine. It's not najis, nor is it haram to consume at a low amount. At a great amount, it's poisonous, and so therefore you can't consume it at a great amount. It's haram. And then the other marja on the other side may be saying, okay, alcohol, I've taken a hadith, and this alcohol is not only haram to consume, even at a low amount, but it's also najis. So you can't even wear that type of perfume or anything that has the ethanol alcohol in it. So here's just one of the fiqh issues that someone may come into where there's some differences. Of course, this is just something that people tend to just kind of, okay, well, that's what your marja says and my marja says otherwise. So you get your donut with ethanol alcohol a little bit and I'll go get another sweet. Anyways, when it comes to the more touchy issues, I think we just need to be very careful that not everyone is going to see eye to eye on it. And your marja may see something different, and the other person's marja may see something different. And you may have done enough research to say that there's a certain manner that we should abide by, and the other person may not be at that level or may not see it at all. So we just need to be careful when it comes to any fiqh issues that might collide. When we have a disagreement, it doesn't make someone a disbeliever or not knowledgeable or any of that sort. So saying that and putting that aside, I think we need to create a unity, because it really, in my opinion, has become a jeopardy, because I have seen in the last little while it actually getting worse than better, and I haven't seen anybody really standing up against this disunity within the Shia Ummah that is happening, and that is very serious. I think it's very serious, because if we want our Imam of the time, may Allah hasten his reappearance, to return, then we need to create a unity within the Shia Ummah. Why would the Imam of the time, may Allah hasten his reappearance, return in such a state? when people are so divided, when we can't get together and agree, or just agree to disagree, or to say, you know what, that's my Marge's opinion and that's your Marge's opinion, or that's my opinion and that's that, obviously when I'm using opinion, I'm meaning that you have some type of backing to back you up. We need to just kind of stop all this disunity, and we need to create a unity. And I hope that I'm that pebble that's thrown into the water. And if you've all seen that done as a child, or maybe even now as an adult, then you'll know that creates a ripple. So I'm hoping to be that pebble, but I want you to join me so that it's not just a pebble. It becomes a big boulder, and that ripple becomes quite huge. So if you're on board with me, give a like, give a comment. If you post anything to do with unity within the Shia Muslim Ummah, tag me in it, post it below. I want to know, because I'll be spreading those kind of things and trying to make this type of a trend, because I think it's just one that has been neglected for far too long. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh. Inshallah.